My name is Gabriella, and I'm in my first year of early childhood education.
What was your favorite project in early childhood?
My favorite project would have to be the portfolio that we did with the preschoolers, because we actually got to practice teaching skills and finding different ways that worked for them with learning different things.
Good. What was your most valuable lesson you've learned during your early childhood education experience?
I feel each lesson has its own value depending on what you want to do in the future. So honestly, all of them, because what I want to be an elementary school teacher, so each lesson we've learned will help me some way in the future, because we've learned like different learning styles, different theories, and just different ways children develop.
And what was your biggest challenge during your early childhood education experience?
My my biggest challenge, oh goodness, I don't know. There's way too many of them.
Okay. What are you looking forward to after completing the early childhood education program?
Definitely I'm looking forward to having a better understanding of how children develop, because I've always been a kid person, but I'm a teenager. I don't really understand how they grow and develop. So being in this class learning how you can even help them develop better is definitely something good. So.
And what bit of advice would you give to someone thinking about entering early childhood education?
If you have a passion for children, a passion to be a teacher, I say go for it. You learn a lot of valuable information, but don't be wrong. It is not all about playing with the children. You do a whole lot more than that.
My name's Emma Hollabach, and I'm in early childhood education year 2.
What was your favorite project in early childhood?
We did a lot of projects, but my favorite would have to be probably the art project that we did.
Great. What are you looking forward to after completing the early childhood program?
I'm most looking forward to becoming a preschool teacher.
What was your most valuable lesson you learned during your early childhood education experience?
The most valuable lesson that I learned is probably, like I said again, being organized and making friends.
What was your biggest challenge during your early childhood education experience?
For me personally, I think coming out of my shell and being more like vocal, because I'm very shy.
What bit of advice would you give to someone thinking about entering early childhood?
Some advice would be doing your work on time and being very organized, because as a professional in the childcare industry, you'd have to be very organized.
My name is Elia Kessler, and I'm in second year of ECE.
What was your favorite project in early childhood?
Probably the art project.
Can you describe it a little bit?
It's where you pick like 5 different art things, and like you can like do. It's like where you do different art projects, like art activities.
Okay. What was your most valuable lesson you've learned during your early childhood education experience?
Being patient.
What was your biggest challenge during your early childhood education experience?
Being patient.
And what are you looking forward to after completing the early childhood education program?
Going to college. Yeah, going to college and being a preschool teacher.
Great. And what bit of advice would you give to someone who's thinking about taking early childhood?
Keep up with your assignments. Keep up with your assignments.
Hello, my name's Gabriella White Knight. I am in ECE 2.
What was your favorite project in early childhood?
So right now we're doing a project, it's like book telling and stuff. So there's like different ones that we do. We're doing drawing ones, like where you're doing clip art and stuff like that. Or you make a felt like project, puppets, and stuff like that.
What was your most valuable lesson you've learned during your early childhood education experience?
So The most important part I've learned is how to do correct lesson plans, and that is very important to know how to do because when you have a substitute, you need to know how to tell them how to do things.
Absolutely. What was your biggest challenge during your early childhood education experience?
I'd have to say writing lesson plans because that was probably one of the hardest things that we had to learn.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to after completing the early childhood program?
I'm gonna go to college to be a elementary school teacher for first grade, and hopefully I can get in somewhere close to around here.
Great. What bit of advice would you give to someone thinking about taking early childhood education?
Well, so you have to have work done in order to do ECE. You have to have your clearances in. That is like the most important part to go into teaching. You have to have your clearances done. So before they would go into the pre-K or the elementary, you have to have your clearances done because that is like the most important part to have done before you do get into teaching.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Angela. I'm a second year in early childhood education.
What was your favorite project in early childhood?
Probably when I was a first year, we made demonstrations on how to build our own classroom. And we made like a billboard and we made our own classroom out of like cardboard, like different kinds of things. It was kind of cool.
Very creative. What was your most valuable lesson you've learned during your early childhood education experience?
Oh my gosh, it probably has to be how to teach children on like different kinds of art, like how different children learn that if you give them like a coloring book, it's more creative to give them a blank piece of paper and let them use their imagination.
What was your biggest challenge during your early childhood education experience?
Lesson plans, definitely. They're very difficult to make.
And what are you looking forward to after completing the early childhood education program?
Becoming an elementary teacher and pursuing a career in it.
What a bit of advice would you give to someone thinking about taking early childhood?
Stay on top of your grades because definitely like a little bit, like a small grade can affect it so much because you can be at like an A and the next day if you don't get your stuff done you can be at like a C and it's really difficult to stay on top.
I'm Jace Ham. I'm finished the capstone in Noah's Ark.
What was your favorite project in early childhood education?
My favorite project when we made our own classrooms and like we sorted each part of the classroom.
What was your most valuable lesson you've learned during your capstone experience?
Learning how to like take control in the classroom.
And what was your biggest challenge during your capstone experience?
Biggest challenge probably was making lesson plans, but I'm working on that and developing my better making lesson plans.
Okay. What are you looking forward to after completing high school and the early childhood education program?
I plan on getting a full-time job as a teacher.
And what bit of advice would you give to someone thinking about taking early childhood?
I would take child development as a closer step of early childhood and you learn valuable lessons in child development.
Hello, my name is Jenna and I'm a third year in early childhood education and my capstone project is working with grades K through 5 in Bacher Elementary.
What was your favorite project in early childhood?
I'm a very creative and art-driven person and I'm glad that I get to also paint with the kids and work on different projects with them.
Good. What was your most valuable lesson you've learned during your capstone experience?
Definitely to have some patience when working with the children. Some kids need a little bit more help than others.
Good. Okay. What was your biggest challenge during your capstone experience?
Patience, again, it's sometimes very stressful, especially with the younger children.
What are you looking forward to after completing your early childhood high school career?
Being in working with like grades K through 5, I've definitely seen that I like working with the older kids, so I would like to get a degree working with maybe grades 3 or 4.
Great. What is a bit of advice that you would give to someone who's thinking about taking early childhood?
Keep up with your work, make sure you have patience and time, good time management skills, and make sure it's something you actually want to enjoy, because the kids love seeing you and they love having your help and just being with you.
Thanks.